know the saying, mother knows best, but sometimes moms and dads can be a bit much. The criticizing, the nagging, the subtle jabs. You know what I'm talking about. Well, according to an article on oureverydaylife.com, there are polite ways to put your parents in their place, if needed, so they can stay out your business. So, ladies, what do you think is the best way to deal with a pushy parent?
Shut up and don't say a word. No, I'm kidding.
Don't say anything?
No, I'm kidding.
Did you have a pushy parent?
I wasn't allowed to say anything. My mother wasn't a pushy parent, but I wasn't allowed to talk back. I wasn't allowed to say how I felt.
Same.
None of that. But with my son, Jax, he's the type of kid that you can't just say, just because I said so.
I love Jack.
He wants to hear why. He wants to talk about it. He wants to dissect it.
That's right, Jack.
And the other day, we were talking, and I was getting tired, and I didn't want to deal. And I stopped talking, and he walked off. And then he came back, and he said, you know what? When you don't talk to me again, it really hurts my feelings.
Good for him.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I was so, when he left again, I said, I hear you, and I won't do that again. I'm working on it. And when he left, I was so proud of him because I never would have had that nerve to say that to my mom.
Yeah.
And the fact that he came back, he didn't just swallow it. With Jade would have just swallowed it and been in his room. Jax came back and said, it really hurts me when you do that.
But you should applaud yourself for that, too, because that speaks to the emotional intelligence that you've taught him, that you've imparted into him, and the comfortability.
Oh, I never
to feel
thought of it that
comfortable.
way.
If you really think about it, a lot of times why we never do that is because of the fear.
We're scared.
Yeah.
And that shows he's not afraid of you. He respects you, but he's not afraid of you, and he feels comfortable enough to come to you and say, listen. And I pray that we all have that same thing. Like, I'm trying to get to that place with my mom where I don't want to be disrespectful, but if at any point I feel she's crossing the line, my new favorite
how do you
phrase,
say it?
I say, Mommy, I hear what you're saying, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Pray about it for me.
Oh.
That's what I tell her.
You give her a chore.
I tell my mom.
You give her a chore.
Don't talk to me about it. Talk to Baba Dios about it. Take it to Jesus, Mom. That's my favorite way to tell my mom, listen, I hear what you're saying. I want to do something different. If you're that concerned, pray about it.
Yeah.
Pray for me, Mommy. Pray for me.
But I also want to applaud you for the way that you answered him. Because you know, if I would have tried to come back, like, no.
Yeah, she said, I'm working on it.
Same.
She said, I'm working on it. I'm going to work not to do that again.
You listened and you didn't, you know, you reacted.
You gave him reciprocating respect. You reciprocated.
I let him know that I heard him.
Yeah.
And you show him that you respect his feelings. So it's reciprocated respect there, which is so important.
What about Mama Mai? Because Mama Mai.
Yeah, I know. Mama Mai's one. So as soon as she knew that we were having a baby, I didn't know this, but she, out of everybody, is more excited than even me and Jay. Like, me and Jay are like, this is cool, this is great. But she's like, I mean, I remember the phone call. I wasn't home, but she flew in, and Jay was at home. And he said, babe, your mom just flew in. I got her at the airport. How long is she staying again? I was like, I don't know, like a couple days, maybe a week. He's like, there are 5 luggages, 4 hat boxes, 3 wigs, and a whole gang of shoes that she just put in my closet. What do I do? And I was like, dang, and I know her because she's lived with me, remember?
Yeah.
And in the Asian culture, you don't even have to ask. Like, you know, your mom could go, like, stay with you guys, and it's no big deal.
She's there to care for you, to nurture you while you're pregnant.
That's like not Jeezy's style, and he's not sure. Like, my mom, like, all of a sudden walking by him while he's in his shorts, like, she's like, hi, how you doing? You know, it's like weird.
Let me ask you a question. Did your mom want a baby for you before?
She never said it because I think that I had already closed that door, so she never brought it up because why is she going to pressure me when I said no?
Yeah.
And she also knew that her freedom is something I didn't have, so she's like, if that's what my daughter wants, I want her to have that.
So get to the rest.
So what's funny is so the answer is you have to make boundaries and you have to confront them. You have to. My mom, if I told her to go speak to God, she would do the same thing Lonnie's mom would do. Like, I wouldn't get that. So I had to have a talk with her, but more important than that, Jeezy wanted me to talk to her. I wanted him to talk to her because he has to respect his voice. She has to respect his voice as the man of the house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not just my home. Yeah, I'm being the hater.
It's your husband.
And he's like, babe, I don't want to say nothing. Just please you do it. And I'm like, I will do it, but I need you to be present so she knows that we are a unified front. And that it's not just coming bad news for me. when he was there to confront her, he said all this stuff about, like, we can't let her just, like, take over the house. She can't just all of a sudden move in. But when he was in front of her, he was like, Mama, you know we love you, but, you know, Jeannie, she just needs her space. I was like, he put it on you. He totally did, because they got a bond, and she go, I know, she very difficult. Okay, I move. You know, she showed and I was like, I can't stand you, but, like, he's getting there. He's getting there slowly. He just loves her so much.
Right.
He doesn't want to say
that's
no to
love
her.
and that's respect, you know, and we tend to do that. We'll be like, okay,
It's on you. Because at the end of the day, she's never going to hate her own flesh and blood.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It just gets different.
That's why, I stand in the gap for them.
For sure.